It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yes, the chestnuts are roasting, the jingles are belling, the halls are decking themselves silly, and Christmas cheer fills the everywhere. So of course you're going to want a Beatles Christmas playlist to complement this most holly and jolly time of year. So sit back with your muddled wine and allow Apple Jams to unwrap a Beatles Christmas playlist that will truly complement your season's bleatings. Bar humbug and all. Hello, hello, and welcome to Apple Jams, your Beatles and solo Beatles hangout. I'm so glad to see you here, so glad you could come. I've one little baby request, and that is if you would please me by smashing a like on this video and subscribing if you haven't already. That would really help me if you can. So, as I say, it's Christmas time, and with that, it's time to think about which Beatles songs can really complement this time of year. It's Happy Xmas, War is Over, and Wonderful Christmas Time. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Wait, is that it? Are you telling me that in 50 years of Beatles' career and solo careers, we can only come up with 2 Christmas songs? That can't be right, can it? There must be a Beatles song that's right for Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time.
Christmas time is here again. Christmas time is here again.
Of course, how could I forget? Christmas Time is Here Again is one of the genuine hidden gems of the Beatles catalogue. Originally released not to the public, but exclusively to members of the official Beatles fan club. It appeared on their 1967 flexi disc, a single-sided 7-inch that was sent out to Beatles fans that December. The Beatles recorded a new Christmas message every year from 1963 to 1969. Christmas Time is Here Again is the closest that the Beatles themselves actually came to a proper Christmas song. It was finally released to the wider public in 1995 when it was released as one of the B-sides accompanying the Free as a Bird single from the Anthology project. This was the first time that most fans had heard it outside of those original flexi singles, and this is the version that I got when I was building my Anthology collection in the mid-noughties. And what a treat it was. In keeping with the rest of the Anthology project, Christmas Time is Here Again was a song that I'd genuinely never heard before, and it was so much fun to hear it for the first time. It's a simple song, and it's not really finished. I'd say it's more of a chanted Christmas mantra than a fully formed song. And can anyone explain the O-U-T spells out bit in the middle? Arriving completely out of context, I can only think that it was kind of thrown in on the spot. It's the same kind of schoolyard chant that Paul McCartney had referenced nearly 50 years later in Queenie Eye. You know, the Queenie Eye, who's got the ball? I haven't got it, it isn't in my pocket. O-U-T spells out. O-U-T spells out. Anyway, regardless of that, there's a lot to like about Christmas Time is Here Again. Not least those signature Beatles harmonies and the increasingly goofy way that they say the line, ain't been round since you know when. If you haven't heard it before from the Free as a Bird single, I don't think you're able to find this on Spotify or other streaming services, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it on YouTube. Okay, so Christmas Time is Here Again is a shoe-in for my Beatles Christmas playlist. I'm going to add that to the other dead certs, so that's Wonderful Christmas Time and Happy Christmas War is Over. Okay, so we're up to 3, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to make a real Christmas playlist, not just 3 songs, even if I have to cheat a little bit and bring in some songs that don't explicitly refer to Christmas, but rather fit the vibe or the feeling or the spirit of Christmas. So let's get into the spirit of Christmas. Let's think Christmas. What can Christmas give me? Let's see now. Give me peace on earth, goodwill to all men. Give me peace, give me...
Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth.
The lead track from George Harrison's Living in the Material World album carries an uplifting and spiritual warmth. It's not a Christmas song, but it's absolutely in the ballpark when you think about that optimistic and altruistic vibe. So that's song number 4. We've got a song by the Beatles, Christmas Time is Here Again. We've got a song by John, Happy Christmas War is Over. Paul, Wonderful Christmas Time. And now George with Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth. But you know, I get the feeling that someone's missing. Someone with a certain ring to them.
Come on, Christmas.
Okay, we've got to that point in the video when we're going to have to acknowledge the fact that Ringo Starr didn't have just one Christmas song. He had a whole album of them. Ringo Starr released I Wanna Be Santa Claus in 1999, right in the middle of his quite fruitful run with producer Mark Hudson, a partnership that helped bring him back into the spotlight after spending much of the 80s out of the scene. This version, by the way, it's for some reason it hasn't got the I Wanna Be Santa Claus text on there. I think this is a re-released version that was issued in like the early noughties. I haven't actually got the original 1999 version, but this'll do. The album sits between two of his stronger solo efforts in the 90s and early noughties, Vertical Man in 1998 and Ringo Rama in 2003, both of which are part of the so-called Hudson era, which really put him on a solid and consistent musical footing. I Wanna Be Santa Claus was their attempt at a full Christmas album, blending originals and covers with that trademark Hudson Starr enthusiasm, even if the results were, shall we say, wildly inconsistent. Now, I am fond of this period for Ringo. Without wanting to spoil an upcoming video, Ringo Rama and Vertical Man are two of my favourite Ringo albums. And in many ways, I Wanna Be Santa Claus is very similar. It's kind of bombastic and unapologetic, and it fizzes with energy. The problem is, it doesn't feel like a Christmas record. It's a Christmas album that somehow forgot to be Christmassy. Ringo isn't a crooner, so you're never going to pick his rock and roll versions of warm fireside classics like Winter Wonderland, nor his frankly bizarre choice to turn White Christmas into an island rhythm ska-style number, complete with steel drums, because nothing says Christmas quite like steel drums. And some of the original songs seem to be aiming for a kind of I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day style mega hit, but sorry Ringo, they're just not in the same league. What I will say is that I Wanna Be Santa Claus features a version of Christmas Time Is Here Again, and that's worth a listen. It's interesting to hear Ringo's take on it. It's not better than the Beatles version, but it's interesting to hear it as a completed song. So why are we still talking about this record? Well, we do need to include a Ringo song on this playlist, and his version of Little Drummer Boy is alright. It's not up there with the Crosby and Bowie version, but it is listenable. Plus, giving Ringo a track on a Christmas playlist called Little Drummer Boy just feels so right that I can't resist putting it on. So Ringo's in, but we still need more. What if I start thinking about Christmas a bit more generally? Cold nights, cold noses, winter nose, winter...
Winter rose, winter rose.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm reaching now. But to be fair, Winter Rose does have this lovely, dreamy, cosy, wintry vibe that almost works if you think of it as a Christmas song. It's got lyrics about snow on the ground. Look, I've already said I know I'm reaching. Can I make the point that the line about shining light everywhere evokes a kind of Star of Bethlehem biblical vibe? No? Oh, go on. Look, it's my list, and I'm including Winter Rose as a kind of dreamy interlude in an otherwise banger-filled playlist. And just to be clear, I'm only including Winter Rose. It appears on Back to the Egg, and it's paired with another song called Love Awake in a kind of like two-song medley. But if Winter Rose is tenuous, then Love Awake is just plain wrong. Lovely song, yes, but not Christmassy, not wintry, not happening. Okay, so this playlist's really taking shape. I'm going to throw in the Christmas song from Paul McCartney's Kisses on the bottom. It's alright, it's nothing on the Nat King Cole original, but, well, this isn't the Nat King Cole Christmas playlist now, is it? And I'll also throw in the B-side to Wonderful Christmas Time, which also appears on this version of Back to the Egg, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae, because why not? Now, as part of the holiday season, we also have New Year's Eve, which kind of brings all the festivities to a close. And I think it would be nice to reflect that by closing this album off with another song that similarly represents New Year's Eve. But what can I think of? It's the time of year when people get together, you know, celebrate, have a bit of a drink, a bit of a knees up, a bit of a ding-dong. Ding-dong. Yes, Ding Dong, which is a highlight from George Harrison's Dark Horse record, whether intentionally or not, perfectly suits the vibe of a New Year's Eve celebration, especially with its verses, ring out the old, ring in the new. It's a simple song, sure, basically just repeating over the ding dong line, but I think that can work as a celebratory sing-along, don't you? I mean, let's face it, Old Lang Syne could do with being a bit more repetitive. Does anybody actually even know the words after the first verse? For Old Lang Syne, my dear, for Old Lang Syne, for the sake of Old Lang Syne. Right, and with that, I think we've hit a good endpoint for this most Christmassy of Beatles playlists. But here are some honourable mentions. I really wanted to include Footprints from Press to Play, but it doesn't quite make the cut. I mean, the Spanish guitar at the beginning doesn't exactly scream festive fireside, does it? Yes, it has lyrics about snow, but snow alone a Christmas song does not make. So sadly, as much as I like it, Footprints doesn't make the cut. Similarly, the title track from this album, Pipes of Peace, was one that I considered when I was thinking about, the peace on earth and goodwill to all men kind of thing. And the music video is literally set during Christmas in World War I. But musically and lyrically, it's just not close enough to Christmas vibes for me. Finally, from Wings at the Speed of Sound, I did consider Warm and Beautiful. It's got those lazy, positive, warm vibes which feel just about right for the season, but again, doesn't quite make the cut despite being an absolutely lovely song. So there you have it, Apple Jammers, the perfect Christmas Beatles collection, as curated by yours truly. Hit this link to check it out on Spotify. I've had to use a cooler shaker version of Christmas Time Is Here Again because Christmas Time Is Here Again isn't on Spotify. But honestly, it's a cracking version, it's well worth a listen. It even weaves in a little bit of the Beatles instrumental track Flying, which is a nice little Easter egg. Or Christmas present, if you like. I've also had to use the Bing Crosby and David Bowie version of Little Drummer Boy because, would you believe, Ringo's I Wanna Be Santa Claus is not on Spotify. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have making it. Let me know in the comments if I've missed any Beatles Christmas crackers, and do let me know what your Beatles Christmas choices would be. And I'd really appreciate it if you'd give this video a like and subscribe so that you can join me for the next one. Until then, I'll say ta-ra for now, and thanks for watching. Christmas time is here again. O-U-T spells out. Okay, so this playlist is really taking shape. I'm going to throw in the Christmas song from Paul McCartney's Kisses on the Bottom, which is upside down.